Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here, the Three Topics Gamer, here to give you another episode of my weekly Q&A titled The People's Questions, where I answer a series of questions that have been sent to me over the past week. This episode was relatively simple. I got a number of questions I was able to answer in the comment section of the last video, so if you don't happen to hear them in this video, you know where to look. And I would say all of them were regulars for this particular episode, so that keeps things relatively simple. So, starting off with the first question, coming from Shaheem Grimes Gokuson. You want to know, do I think Sparrow deserves its own Devil May Cry prequel game or playable DLC in Devil May Cry 6? Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't think it would work as DLC for Devil May Cry 6 because we've already been, one, we don't even know if there's going to be a Devil May Cry 6, and if it were, we know it won't include Dante and Virgil at all, because I think someone at Capcom did say that Devil May Cry 5 would be the end of the Sons of Sparta storyline, so it would focus on Nero, and Nero really doesn't have much of a connection to Sparta, so I don't know why he would ever be DLC, and as far as I'm concerned, we've never had DLC for a standard Devil May Cry game. But in terms of a prequel game focusing on Sparta, yeah, I would like to see it happen, because we simply don't know much about Sparta, so yeah, I don't see why not. Next question comes from Phantom Sidious. He wanted to know, if Qui-Gon Jinn had survived his duel with Darth Maul and trained Anakin, how do I think the story of Anakin would have turned out? Pretty much, everything would be different. Everything would be different. Episodes 2 to 6 probably would not have played out the way they did. Very simply. Everyone has stated, I've said this several times, several other YouTubers have said this, Dave Filoni has said this. Everyone knows that if Qui-Gon had trained Anakin, then that's kind of the teacher he needed. He would have been much more understanding. He would have done things very, very differently than Obi-Wan had done. So, yeah, short answer, Star Wars, as you know, would have been very, very different. Next question comes from Brady Burke. You want to know, could the Empire be capable of expanding beyond the main galaxy to others beyond? Well, my question is, what's beyond your galaxy? We don't know. Why would you expand beyond what you know? I don't know what's beyond their galaxy. No one knows what's beyond their galaxy, so why would you go beyond that? It just doesn't make much sense. So, I don't think the Empire ever got that big. I know there were a number of sections in the galaxy they had trouble even getting into, so I don't think so. I don't think they would attempt going into the great beyond and taking that risk. Next question comes from Shaudisis Gaming, and this question makes absolutely no sense. But heck, we'll try. And Shaudisis Gaming wants to know, if building a okay, you guys, listen to this one. Just think about this logically. If building a Death Star was possible, do I think government would let it happen? Okay, number one, shout out to this gaming. Let me just ask this question right now. Let me ask you a question. Why on earth would anybody, any logical person, even if you had the resources, even if you could somehow build this thing in space, which is the only place they could build it, why on earth would anyone want to build a giant moon-sized space station, whose only function is to blow up another planet? That is strictly the only purpose for a Death Star, is to blow up another planet. What planet would you want to blow up? As far as I know, there's only 9 of them in our solar system. What do you want to blow up Earth? That's just dumb. That would be like saying, hey, we've built this bomb that is so powerful it can blow up the planet. Strictly the planet we're currently on, killing everyone, including ourselves. Why? Where's the logic there? So, not only do I not think the government will let that happen, I don't think anyone with any common sense would even build a Death Star. I'm sorry. That is the purpose of a Death Star. You only would build one to blow up planets. That is the only reason it was ever created. No other function. So, yeah, I don't think that would be really much of an option. And just logically, I don't think anyone would ever want to build a Death Star. So no, I don't think that would ever happen. And the last question of the episode comes from GOG, and you want to know: do I think the fan war between Marvel and DC is ridiculous? I have no idea what you're talking about. What war? When you say war, I'm expecting people to be killed. As far as I'm concerned, I've never heard a DC fan killing a Marvel fan or a Marvel fan killing a DC fan. So when you use war, like, be a little bit more like specific. I mean, I understand there's console wars, but it's kind of like just for fun, but no one really takes it seriously. I mean, trust me, I may not like Xbox and I think I'm too old for Nintendo, but I don't want to go out of my way to hurt anyone who prefers those consoles. So this idea of a fan war between Marvel and DC, it's all just good fun. No one is trying to hurt anyone. If you like DC comics over Marvel, that's fine. You like Marvel comics over DC, that's fine. But I mean, it's just preference. That's what it comes down to. So no, I don't think it's ridiculous at all because it's just for good fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I personally don't think that there's anything wrong with this supposed war that you're talking about that, is new to me. So no, I don't think it's ridiculous. It's just all for fun. And it's all built upon preference. Nothing more, nothing less. And with that, those are the 5 primary questions that I was able to answer for this video. If you happen to have any more questions you would like me to try and answer for next week's episode, be sure to type them in the comments down below. But make sure it's only 1 question per person. And if you want to increase your odds of making sure that I make it into the next video, just have them be a bit more interesting or a bit more challenging or have a bit more depth. Otherwise, I'll be able to answer them in the comments section of this video. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you next week.